So my name's Elijah Williams, and I work here at Sheridan College as our Director of Indigenous Engagement, and I oversee our Center for Indigenous Learning and Support. It's an interesting question, right, when we look at communities that rely on bottled water or shipped-in water from places. It's a privilege for us to say we don't want to use plastic water in developed countries. It's a privilege to say we're going to ban these sources because we want to be environmentally friendly now. But what we don't recognize is that there's a lot of communities that use bottled water, not by choice, by necessity. And so that was my experience growing up on Six Nations. A part of it was that's all we had was bottled water or shipped-in water in those big jugs, and you had a cooler. We couldn't drink the tap water because it was not up to the standards that one should expect, or there's the infrastructure was lacking there to support purification of the water. It's always a privilege to be able to, for us in these cities, to be like, you know what, we want to be more green, we want to do all this stuff, but it's not a privilege when somebody has no choice but to use that. Well, it's definitely if somebody were to ask me what a culture shock would be, that's probably one of them. It's always, still to this day, it's still weird for me to drink out of the tap water, even though I know it's safe, but it's just like that. It's subconsciously, you have this weird feeling inside you. This doesn't feel right. I think how it impacts a lot of communities is that if you don't have healthy access to water, has a lot of health effects, right? Especially when you look at some communities that are in worse shapes where they're being poisoned by mercury. So when you have those situations, how can you even think about education? How can you even think about getting a job, basically, but when your health is at risk and that you develop all these other symptoms as a result of that? So that's a huge impact.